All right, for this Khan Academy assignment, we're going to be combining what we know about factoring out the greatest common factor and what we know about factoring trinomial when a is 1. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to factor out the common factor. So if I'm looking at 6x squared minus 18x minus 60, I'm noticing that the greatest common factor of all of those terms is 6. So I'm going to factor out 6 from all of those terms. So 6 times what is 6x squared? Well, that would be x squared. Plus 6 times, oops, that's not a 6. 6 times what is negative 18x? Well, that'd be negative 3x. Plus 6 times what is negative 60? Well, that'd be negative 10. So now I'm going to factor out the 6 from all of those. So it's going to be 6 times what's left, which is x squared minus 3x minus 10. So now that I have factored out the 6, I'm noticing the trinomial on the inside of my parentheses is when I have a trinomial when a is 1. So I'm going to factor those into two binomials. I'm still going to have the 6 on the outside, but I'm looking for which two binomials multiply together to make the x squared minus 3x plus 10. So I know that since I start with an x squared, that the first two terms of my binomial are going to be x and x. So then I'm figuring out, well, which two terms multiply together to be negative 10, so multiply together to be c, add together to be b, which is negative 3. So I'm just going to start listing off the factors of negative 10. I know 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, but when I add those together, I get positive 3, so that didn't work. What if I switch the negative? So negative 5 times positive 2. When I add those together, I do get negative 3, which works. So these are the two numbers in my binomials. So 6 times x minus 5 times x plus 2. So I'm going to type that into my problem. Oops, and I need to go there. It's going to be 6 times x minus 5 times x plus 2. Voila. And I will do one more. All right, so again, I'm going to want to factor out the greatest common factor from everything. And the greatest common factor of this problem is 5. So I'm going to factor out 5, and I'll use purple this time. So greatest common factor is 5. So 5 times what gives me 5x squared? Well, that would be 5 times x squared. Plus 5 times what would give me 25x? Well, that would be 5x, because 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 5 times what would give me 20? Well, that would be, 4. So now I'm going to factor out the 5 from everything. So it's going to be 5 times what's left, which is x squared plus 5x plus 4. Now I'm noticing the trinomial in my parentheses has a is equal to 1, so I can factor that into two binomials. So I get 5 times something times something. I know that the first term of my trinomial is x squared, which resulted from x times x. And then to find out my other two numbers, I need to find the two numbers that multiply together to be c, add together to be b. So multiply together to be 4, add together to be 5. Well, multiples of 4. 4 times 1, add them together, we get 5. Voila, that works. So these are the two constants of my binomial. So 5 times x plus 4 times x plus 1. And I'm going to type that in. So 5 times x plus 4 times x plus 1. So you're going to want to factor out the greatest common factor from everything and then factor that remaining trinomial into its two binomials, keeping that greatest common factor being multiplied on the outside. Let me know if you have any questions.